Today we talk about my interview experience for the US visa, and the classes that we are going to be focusing on are the ones that I have interviewed for. So that's F1 and B1, B2. These are the classes that I have personally interviewed for, so I'll be giving you my experience on those. And by the way, if you guys are not getting your appointment slot and you're basically searching for it, you're not able to get it for weeks and weeks, people wait, sometimes months people wait. If that is the case, you can join our Telegram group where you can for free monitor with the other people, and this is the link over here if you are a student. All right, we are yet to create a group for tourists. We'll be doing that in the near future as well. So guys, in the interview experience, सबसे पहली चीज़ जो आती है आपकी वो आती है biometrics. So the biometrics is the OFC appointment where you basically don't go to the embassy itself, but you go to one of the centers to get your fingerprinting done. All right, that's really it on that day. So on the first appointment out of the two appointments that you have, there's no interview that's going to happen. Basically, they will only do 10 printing. That means of all 10 fingers, they'll basically take your fingerprints. That's all. Now it's important to note down the list of documents you should be carrying on your biometrics day. So for my interview, and I'm going to be talking more about the student interview because right now that is the time that is ongoing. Business and tourism, you guys can just remove one or two documents from it. For instance, you will have to carry your appointment confirmation first. Second thing is DS-160 confirmation. Everyone has to carry that as well. Third, your passport. You have to carry that. Now, if you're a student, you also need to carry your I-20. And finally, your service fee receipt. Again, this is also for students. The next second thing, let's move on to the actual visa interview. So once you get to the consulate, you will see that there's basically a long line of people. Basically, the 7:30 people are in front, then there's 7:45 people, then there's 8 a.m. people, so the line of people is like there. You can check out. I went to the embassy also just to show you, just to basically give you a clear picture. You can take a look at this overlay. तो यार यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं डेफिनेटली लाइन तो लगी हुई है, काफ़ी अच्छी खासी लाइन है जिसमें बेसिकली हर एक मतलब एक टाइम स्लॉट के हिसाब से लाइन होता है. So there's a 7:15 line, 7:20, 7:30 line, 7:45 line. But these people are getting slots, as you can see. And that's the consulate. So that's where the interviews are actually being held. Even now, when basically you would think that slots are very, very limited and appointments are almost not there. So all you have to do is basically you go ahead, join the line with the suitable time slot essentially. The next thing you need to do is to reach early. Don't reach at the time of your interview, reach at least 30 minutes early. I always say dress well so that you are confident in yourself, and I think that's very important to be confident on the day of the interview. Otherwise, a rejection, chances of that are sky high nowadays. So the way it works is that there's a line, and this line proceeds to a room where basically you are made to sit. This is sort of like a waiting area. There's about 50 to 60 seats and different rows and columns, and people will be sitting there. You can also go ahead, sit in any of the seats. It's completely fine. Next thing, row by row, they will start to call you towards the actual counters where basically the interview is going to happen. Now that's another different hall. It's a pretty big hall, and to enter that room, basically you pass through a pathway. Now in this pathway, what will happen is that a guard will be there. They will frisk you. They will check if you're not carrying any harmful equipment. Even your belt also, by the way, if you're wearing it, they will ask you to remove it and keep it in the thing, and later on you can collect it. But all of these things, that electronics and everything, basically that can be harmful, they will be confiscated at this point. After that, once you enter the big hall, you will see there's a lot of different counters, and in each and every counter there will be, of course, one visa officer sitting. So what will happen is that you will be added to one particular basically counters line now. So randomly out of any of the counters, basically the security person will tell you, okay, go to this line. You go to that line and you stand behind that particular counter. That means that there will be one or two people ahead of you whose interview you will be able to get to see, and after that it will be your interview. So what you will see is essentially there's a glass window sort of separating you from the visa officer, but there's a hole at the bottom through which you can pass the documents if required. There's microphone so you can talk easily, but that's about it. Finally, it will be your turn and you will be in front of the visa officer and they will be asking you the questions. Normally, this interview does not go over 1 to 2 minutes under any circumstances, and that's really everything you need to know about my experience. Now, I will actually reproduce my actual experience of the interview. I'll show you what kind of questions were asked from me, and I'll give you the actual answers that I gave as well. And in my interview, you will see that while I was being asked to prove my finances, by the way, I wanted to tell them about my loan, that okay, I have this amount of loan also, but they did not even care about it. They interrupted me and moved on. So take a look at this interview.
Please pass your I-20 and passport.
Good morning, officer. Here you go.
Alright, which university is this for?
University of Southern California, officer.
Okay, and are there any other universities you applied to?
Yes, officer. I applied to 6 universities.
Alright, so why USC?
Well, officer, I'm looking for a research-based program. And Professor XYZ at USC has a social media research group that I've already inquired about, and I really want to contribute to it. Now, there's a very few universities out there which have social media research ongoing, and that's why USC is the perfect fit for me, I believe.
Alright, got it. So how are you gonna finance your education?
Officer, my parents have savings of $25,000, and
What do your parents do? What's their annual income?
Officer, my mother works in ABC Corp as a chartered accountant, and my father works as a senior manager at BCD Corp. Together, the annual income would be somewhere around 45,000 US dollars.
Your visa is approved. I'll hold on to your passport.
Thank you so much, officer. Alright, and that is exactly how easy it is. And the tourism visa, B1, B2 visa, it's even easier. But if you're going to, let's say, a bad university, or you don't have funds to afford your trip, whether it's a tourism trip or a education trip, right, whatever it is, right, there are chances of rejection. So if you need help with getting your slot, getting basically training and everything, and making sure documents are correct so that you don't get rejected, you can reach out to me or take a look at the visa application help, where you'll be able to get support. You can also connect with me through my Instagram, where we often post updates regarding the same, and also again my WhatsApp number is in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you all the best, and goodbye and take care until next time.